At KHOU 11, when you speak up, we listen, and we're committed to finding you solutions. In this KHOU 11 Plus special, we're taking a look at some of the stories that started with your calls and messages and led to solutions. You told us about illegal dumping, creating a mess in your neighborhood, and now it's gone. You shared frustration over elevators that didn't work, and they were fixed. You warned us about a dangerous construction zone near a school, and new safety measures are now in place. There were also box trucks clogging streets and frustrating residents. They rolled out just one day after our report. These are your results. Real stories, real impact, real solutions.
And now this, an incredible update to a woman's plight that brought a lot of people to tears this week.
Yes, it did. We first introduced you to Shirley Spencer on Tuesday, when she told us about nasty water coming up through her kitchen sink, flooding her apartment. Yesterday, things went from bad to worse when maintenance crews showed up and demolished her kitchen, making her apartment even more unlivable.
Matt Doherty started the fight for solutions for Miss Shirley and went back to the Spanish Village apartments today, where help has finally arrived.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you.
This afternoon, Miss Shirley Spencer couldn't contain her joy. She's a whole lot happier than when we first met her on Tuesday. Not long after her apartment had been flooded once again from filthy water overflowing from her sink.
This is where I mopped it out.
Okay, let's get outside. This is bad.
Do you guys mind if I take pictures?
Then yesterday, city inspectors arrived. They served the Spanish Village apartment managers a notice of compliance, giving them days to fix the problem.
My stuff should not be sitting out there where fleas and stuff at.
Today, a maintenance crew continued the work started yesterday.
That's how bad it was. That mold back there is so thick.
Luckily, she won't be having to deal with that anymore.
That housing called me this morning, and the director's already been here.
The housing authority came this afternoon to tell Miss Shirley they'd found her a new place to live.
Helped me find a location, and he wanted to make sure that it was clean, they were going to be at their place, and everything.
She'll be moving into her new apartment in North Houston in the next few days.
He told me don't worry about application fee or anything right now, but he will let me know what it would be, and they're going to work with me.
She won't be spending another night in this unit and will be sleeping at her son's place while she finishes moving.
For 13 days, this water ran in my apartment. Straight 13 days.
The solution for Miss Shirley was better than she could have imagined.
And I just want to thank Channel 11. I just want to thank y'all and thank everybody who responded, the city, housing, everybody that did respond. I just wanted the water to stop, y'all.
Matt Doherty.
That's it. Thank you.
KHOU 11 News.
It is remarkable how quickly things can change when the right people step in. So relieved that Miss Shirley is getting the support that she desperately needed.
One of the great benefits about this job is being able to go out and shed light on something and make something happen. Glad that it worked out for Miss Shirley. Only on KHOU 11, getting solutions for a Houston woman who has been seeking help for months.
She turned to us for help after she says calls to fix a leaking fire hydrant were unanswered. Tonight, the problem is fixed, and Michelle Joy is back in the South Union neighborhood with the repairs.
So what do you think, Miss Jackie?
It looks great.
Yeah.
Finally.
Here on Seabrook Street, crews have finished replacing an old fire hydrant with a brand new one, and even laid gravel to help with the erosion near Jackie's driveway.
They did put some gravel down for that low spot because it was really low here, and that caused the water to flow that way.
I mean, they dug a hole pretty deep, you said,
Oh,
right?
deep, very deep. I think they had maybe a 6 or 8 foot ladder for the guys to get to the pipe.
We first met Jackie last week as water bubbled up across her yard, eroding the ground and cracking her driveway.
And it's coming from this right here. This is where, see how I'm just sinking.
She said it had been happening for months and her calls for help to the city hadn't led to a fix. But within hours of KHOU 11 asking questions, Public Works crews showed up.
This was no small leak.
No, this was no small leak if they had to go that deep.
And by Monday, the hydrant had been replaced. Jackie sharing these photos from the repairs, showing crews hauling in long replacement pipes and digging deep to reach the source of the leak.
I'm happy. Like I said, you were heaven sent. Definitely. I appreciate it.
Now, Jackie says her next step is filing a claim with the city to repair her driveway. Damage, she says, came from months of pooling water.
This was all at one height.
When we asked the city about property damage, they told us repair teams will fix driveways, fences, or lawns if their infrastructure causes the problem. If the repairs aren't enough, homeowners can also file a claim online with the city's legal department.
I do hope that I can get some help with this. That will be greatly appreciated as well.
In the meantime, Jackie says she's thankful for what's already been done.
Thanks to you, and thanks to the workers too, because somebody had to come. This was a big job.
Oh, Miss Jackie.
Thank you.
I'm glad we were able to help. I'm glad this is fixed.
Definitely, definitely.
In Houston's South Union neighborhood, Michelle Choi, KHOU 11 News.
Have a problem? We help find solutions each and every day. It's how KHOU 11 stands for Houston. If you need help, call the Your Voice tip line at the number on your screen, 713-521-4310. Leave your name, address, and news tip, and we may be able to help you.
Tonight, KHOU 11 is getting solutions for a Houston neighborhood after they came to us for help. Residents concerned about a line of box trucks that had taken over their streets for months. The neighborhood sits off of the Katy Freeway Service Road near T.C. Jesser Boulevard in the Rice Military area. Our Orko Mana is back there tonight with this update.
For the first time in 6 months, we have our street back. There are no trucks, there's no traffic. It feels like home.
Juan Wesso is breathing a sigh of relief. He woke up this morning to a near-empty roadway by his Rice Military neighborhood. Just yesterday, there was a line of commercial box trucks parked in the wrong direction on the one-way street. Wesso reached out to KHOU 11 for help and told me for months the trucks would load and unload furniture, impacting safety, parking access, and trash pickup for residents. Now with the road clear, those worries are gone.
How does it feel?
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Such a sense of comfort that now that I can enjoy walking the street, hanging out with my kids, and not having to worry about any safety hazard.
The change coming after my report aired last night, pushing for solutions. Despite several 311 calls and some tickets issued, nothing happened until now.
A big thank you to the KHOU team. Y'all immediately responded to our requests, came out to investigate, and 24 hours later, the trucks are gone.
What's it like seeing the street without those trucks?
Oh, it's amazing. It's exactly what we wanted, really. I don't feel so bad having the kids come out and play and run around, and really fast response time. Pretty nice to see that within a day the trucks are gone.
Residents hope that this is the start of a long-term solution in keeping those box trucks away from this street. They say to ensure that they're trying to get signage installed here.
We're hoping that they'll come out and put signage out here that says no commercial vehicle parking.
Which kind of raises the stakes from just like a ticket to being able to actually boot and or tow the vehicles.
For now, residents are cautiously optimistic the trucks will stay away.
I know if they do return, I know who to call. I know KHOU's on our side.
Reporting from Rice Military, Orko Mana, KHOU 11 News.
If you find yourself facing a similar issue, file a complaint with 311. And in addition to that, give your 311 complaint number to your city council member. Councilmember Abby Kamen, who represents the Rice Military area, tells us that if you provide your number to your local council office, that will help officials keep tabs on the number of complaints made and the progress of those complaints.
First tonight, a Houston street some neighbors say feels more like a freeway. We're talking about Fallbrook Drive in North Houston, which intersects I-45.
Back in June, KHOU 11 highlighted the dangerous portion of the roadway. Now, new safety measures are in place after our reporting. Michelle Choi is in North Houston with the solution, and why neighbors say they hope this is just the first step of many.
Yeah, Len and Mia, when we first came out here 2 months ago, neighbors told us they were desperate for change. Now, thanks to their persistence and our story shining a light, take a look. Stop signs are in and drivers are finally slowing down. In June, I was here with our radar gun. 38. 42. And we clocked cars pushing 50, one topping out at nearly 65. Freeway speeds in a 20-mile-per-hour zone. Fast forward to today, 16. 18. This time, the fastest we clocked, 40. Still high, but far from the 50s we saw last time. And while we did see one car blow through the stop signs, most drivers slow down.
You know, finally we're getting some action.
change 81-year-old Alejandro Matamoros says he's grateful to finally see. He first reached out to KHOU 11 after a year of frustration that began when Fallbrook Drive was extended to reach the North Freeway.
You know, thank Channel 11 for that.
It is lovely. It is lovely. I mean, look, people are driving like they got sense now.
When we first met Daryl Henderson in June, he called Fallbrook Drive a freeway.
See what I mean? All day, all night.
He says the stop signs are a game changer.
And the first day they put them up, I was able to bring out my grandchild and let her play in the front yard.
Both men also thanked Harris County Precinct 2 Commissioner Adrian Garcia for listening.
Were you aware just how dangerous this particular section of Fallbrook Drive was for this community?
We had been hearing concerns that there was a lot of cut-through traffic and that there's a lot of speeding in the area.
Garcia says community input and our story emphasize the urgency.
I wanted to make sure that we were being responsive and doing what we can in the short term while we're looking for long-term solutions.
Yeah, Commissioner Garcia says part of those long-term solutions will come from their reimagined Fallbrook and Veterans Memorial Drive corridor study, which is underway. He says they are always looking for community input. The next meeting is set for September 11th. Back to you.
For now, they've had some progress. We'll see what else comes to fruition. Michelle, thank you.
We begin tonight with another apartment complex dealing with broken elevators.
KHOU 11 has reported on several places in the Houston area just over the past couple of weeks plagued by broken elevators. Tonight, seniors living at the Jubilee at Texas Parkway in Missouri City are reaching out with their own concerns. Orko Manna is live there now looking for solutions for those residents. Orko, it sounds like they have had enough.
Yeah, Mia, they're frustrated. We were here after Beryl caused major water damage that took months to repair, and now residents here on the second floor of this building tell me that with no working elevator, they fear for their safety, especially because their medical conditions make it difficult, sometimes impossible, to use the stairs. Tonight, we're pushing for solutions.
We're not wanting a luxury. We just want to be acknowledged.
Betty Benford lives at the Jubilee at Texas Parkway Senior Apartments in Missouri City with her husband Alvin. Alvin, who's on dialysis and confined to a wheelchair, relies on the elevator to get outside. But Betty says the only working elevator in her building has now been broken for nearly a week.
I am afraid for my husband. I'm afraid if anything happens, if a fire breaks out, I can't get him out of this building.
She also says getting Alvin's medical supplies up to their unit was a challenge for the delivery man this week.
He had to make 5 trips to deliver these 30 boxes.
This is an email Betty got from apartment management stating they're waiting for, quote, critical parts to make the repairs. But that's taking too long for second floor resident Myrtle Welcome, who has had knee surgery.
I try to avoid stairs at all costs.
Making things worse, she tells me the building's only other elevator was already out of service.
This is an ongoing thing. We got one elevator that's been broken before Beryl, and that wasn't good.
I searched for solutions by going to the leasing office where someone said they were not allowed to speak to me.
Thank you for calling Asset Living.
I also called and sent an email to Asset Living, which manages the Jubilee complex, but I have not heard back. Residents like Betty just hoping something is done soon.
Without the elevators, we're stuck.
Now, after KHOU 11's reporting on elevator issues at senior apartments such as this one, a bill just passed the Texas Senate this week that would require landlords in Texas to keep elevators operational and running or face major consequences. Senate Bill 1802 now heads to the House for a vote. Reporting live from Missouri City tonight, Orko Manna, KHOU 11 News.
Let's hope these properties start getting their acts together for the sake of those residents. Orko Manna tonight, thank you. KHOU 11 was the first station, by the way, to report on these widespread broken elevators. You can read our full coverage and the change that has followed at KHOU.com. And this story, by the way, first came to us from a viewer looking for solutions. If you have a story you want us to look into, send an email our way to newstips@KHOU.com. For over a year now, KHOU 11 News has been exposing illegal dumping in Houston's 5th Ward. We've seen piles of trash, dumped mattresses, and even an abandoned boat. It is a problem many of you are sick of and have come to KHOU 11 for a solution.
Is this how you want people to think of Fifth Ward?
Absolutely not. This is not Fifth Ward. This is not Fifth Ward.
It's heartbreaking to know that you can't get no one to come through and to do anything about this mess. Can I use the word mess? Because it's a mess. It's truly a mess.
I am from Fifth Ward, and I am disgusted that Fifth Ward does not look like the Fifth Ward I grew up in.
Well, now crews and volunteers, they are back tackling more than 30 dumping hotspots over the next several days. Michelle Choi spoke one-on-one with Councilmember Tarsha Jackson about what's being done now and a potential long-term solution.
The hot team is now picking up the remaining dumping.
Back at Fifth Ward, where KHOU 11's coverage on illegal dumping first began nearly a year ago. Today, crews and community members are back out clearing one site after another. For the next few days, Councilmember Tarsha Jackson's District B hot teams are joining forces with Cleanup Houston, which offer this grappler truck and its services for free, targeting more than 30 illegal dumping hotspots across the neighborhood.
Do you want to kind of use that to sort of be able to go back to the mayor and say, look at the efficiency when it comes to hiring some outside help? Is that your ultimate plan?
Yes, that's the I mean, this is a pilot just to see how it works.
Jackson says half of her district service funds, about $250,000 a year, already go toward fighting illegal dumping. But even with 2 city crews working 5 days a week, she says it's not enough to keep up.
And that's why it looks like nothing is happening, because as soon as we pick it up, it's right back out there.
For longtime resident and Fifth Ward Civic Club President Sandra Edwards, today's cleanup brings hope, but also a warning.
But when you see progress like this being made,
I feel hopeful. I feel hopeful. But you can't start here and we don't see you no more. We need this to be ongoing.
We first met Sandra nearly a month ago when she showed us blocks of trash-filled streets. We even saw a dump boat, since removed after our report, though she says plenty of waste remains. Now she's calling for teamwork, neighbors, and the city after telling us she wasn't even aware this major cleanup effort was coming.
Stop leaving us out the equation. Let us participate. Let us come together. If we do this together, we can clean Fifth Ward up.
Meanwhile, Councilmember Jackson says city leaders are in talks to make bigger changes.
what are you guys doing as council members? Are y'all having conversations amongst yourselves? Are you talking to the mayor? Is he aware that this is a citywide issue?
Everyone is aware it's a citywide issue, and just know everyone is doing everything within their power to address the issue, and we also recognize that it is a burden on the residents.
She's pushing for new ordinances to hold contractors and landlords more accountable, add commercial dumpsters at unused city sites, and make legal dumping easier for residents who can't always reach depositories.
We want it to be clean, and it should be clean, and we deserve that.
In Houston's Fifth Ward, Michelle Choi, KHOU 11 News.
They absolutely deserve it. And from illegal dumping like this to other problems in your neighborhood, KHOU 11 works to get you solutions each and every day. If you have something you want us to look into, just give us a call. The number is 713-521-4310. Be sure to leave your name, number, and news tip, and we'll see if we can help you out.
Only on KHOU 11 tonight, we are getting solutions for folks in Houston's Fifth Ward.
Last week, our reporting helped get an overgrown lot cleaned up fast. Now, less than half a mile away, another neighbor is asking for help.
After I started watching Channel 11 and saw you, and then I saw how you helped my brother-in-law around the corner there, I think it was with Southern Pacific, then I said, well, let me try it too.
Dolores Peterson says she's been living in fear for years because of a massive overgrown lot next door, just down the street from an elementary school, raising major safety concerns. Tonight, Michelle Choi is back in Fifth Ward pushing for a solution.
Right now, I'm standing on a large piece of land here on Leffingwell Street, right next to Dolores Peterson's home. She's lived here for nearly 5 decades, but for the last 3, she says there's been a growing safety hazard and a sense of fear due to overgrown brushes towering over people and trash piling up.
If I wouldn't pay my yard man to take care of this, this is what it would look like.
For 48 years, Dolores Peterson has called this neighborhood home. But for the last 3, she says this overgrown lot right next door has left her feeling unsafe.
He would leave from this spot right here, come right along here, and just jump out and he's scared of kids.
Dolores says that she's seen that man scaring kids who cut through the lot on their way to and from Dogan Elementary just down the street. So this is the kitchen window you're always staring out of.
Right, right.
And you even installed cameras, you said.
Right, that's right.
Why?
Because I'm afraid to come in and out, especially at night.
She's hoping that won't be the case anymore. After years of trying to get it resolved through the city and the property owner and getting nowhere, she reached out to KHOU 11 for help.
I have been trying for 3 years. That's the reason why I keep this done. So I won't walk out and something happen or somebody hiding. I won't come out here and see a kid laying here.
Just hours after we reached out, the city told KHOU 11 Houston Public Works Code Enforcement has been notified and dispatched to address the problem. City officials say they can issue citations to the owners, and if the issue isn't fixed, the city can step in and clean it up themselves. We also reached out to the listed property owners who live in Florida and are still waiting to hear back. Does it make you sad to see a community look like this?
Yes, it does, because they're not caring anymore.
Fifth Ward neighbors say this isn't just a one-problem lot. It's part of a bigger pattern. Tomorrow night, the community will come together to talk about illegal dumping and long-term solutions. That meeting starts at 6 p.m. at the Fifth Ward Multi-Service Center. We'll be there. Back to you.
Some progress tonight after our push for solutions for residents of Missouri City Senior Living Apartment. Now, the building's only working elevator has been down for a week. This is happening at the Jubilee along the Texas Parkway in Missouri City, and management now working harder to get the elevator fixed while also offering assistance to tenants. Orko Manna first reported on this issue Friday and pressed management for solutions. Orko, what is the timeline for the repair?
I was told the elevator here would be fixed by Saturday, but the apartment's PR team says the circuit board crews tried to use was not compatible. They have now ordered the correct parts. And while residents still do not have a working elevator, they say management has taken more action since our report aired Friday. Betty Benford is staying busy inside her apartment, but her mind keeps coming back to the broken elevator just outside.
We're being tested.
It's been about a week since Betty says the elevator stopped working. We met her Friday when we first reported about the elevator issues at the Jubilee at Texas Parkway Senior Living Community in Missouri City. Betty and her wheelchair-bound husband Alvin live on the second floor, making it impossible for Alvin to get downstairs for an upcoming medical checkup.
I can't afford to cancel the appointment because when I do that, if that's done, it takes me more than another month to get another appointment for him.
After pressing management company Asset Living for solutions, we're now hearing back from their PR team. In a statement, they say, quote, "Since the onset of the problem, we have worked diligently with 4 separate elevator service providers in our effort to restore full functionality. Only after our report aired, new photos show crews working on the elevator Saturday."
When you see these pictures, what's your reaction to this?
I'm happy that they have made the effort, but I will be even happier when we can get out of here.
Apartment staff are also doing welfare checks and providing food to tenants. Second floor resident Myrtle Welcome telling me she credits our reporting for the response and the repair work.
They didn't do anything until after Channel 11 came out. Then once Channel 11 came out, then they tried to do something.
While the apartment says they're working quickly to resolve the issue, residents just want results.
Maybe if they realize that we're not going to let this go, they would do something about it.
The proof is in the pudding, and the pudding hasn't been made yet.
In the meantime, the apartment says they'll also help residents with getting groceries and arranging transportation. Reporting in Missouri City, Orko Manna, KHOU 11 News.
Now to sticker shock for a landlord in the Sunnyside neighborhood.
He contacted us after his tenant received a stunning water bill.
I have a tenant in my rental property that has a water bill in excess of almost $50,000.
You heard right, nearly $50,000. We pressed the city for answers.
And this evening, Stephen Goen is live with what was behind the massive bill and how the city responded. How did this happen, Stephen?
Mia, this property owner says that large water bill was a result of a leak that it led to all this standing water you can see right here. He blames the city, but officials don't agree. We were able to find a solution for him in the end. For Torek Henderson, the problem started months ago when his rental property in Sunnyside got a notification about water usage.
We contacted the city of Houston to come and take a look at it. They sent several people out here numerous times.
The issue turned out to be the water meter for the property's Unit A, but Henderson says he noticed something after city technicians came to fix it.
They sent someone out here to service A, however, they service B.
He says that service caused this leak, which resulted in higher water bills, his tenant eventually getting this one for nearly $50,000. What was going through your mind when you saw that number?
I mean, I was in shock.
After more calls to the city, Henderson, fed up, decided to call KHOU 11. Within hours of making that call Monday, he says technicians were back at the property.
Yeah, I'm ecstatic about it.
And the problem was fixed.
It took me to call the news station to get it rectified when someone could have came out here and solved that problem early June.
Now, in response to our inquiry, the city claims their technicians had not replaced the meter, though they confirm there has been a leak involving a cutoff valve. In a statement, the city told us they will provide adjustments to offset some of the expense. Henderson believes it should be more.
They should accept the responsibility and adjust the entire bill.
Still tonight, he tells us he's grateful to see the start of a solution. His advice to other property owners:
if you notice something, jump on it immediately. Take names of the people that you spoke with, to get the problem rectified. And if not, do the same thing I did. Call KHOU 11.
Now, we are working to find out how much of this bill the city really is going to end up covering. We're going to stay on this story to try to get a complete resolution here. We're live in Sunnyside. Stephen Goen, KHOU 11 News.
And like you said, call KHOU 11. All right, thank you so much, Stephen Goen. Now, do you have a problem in your neighborhood? KHOU 11 is here to help. Call the Your Voice tip line, 713-521-4310. Tell us about your issue and be sure to leave your name, address, and of course your phone number.
A Hitchcock woman has lived with an unwelcome bee swarm for years now. The hive has grown so large, she says that tending to her yard has become too risky. And overgrown vegetation has made parts of it nearly impossible to navigate. Trace and Bragg spent the day in Hitchcock getting her some solutions after all these years.
Sarah Hampton has lived on her Hitchcock property since the 1980s. But a few years ago, she says an uninvited swarm moved in.
Some bees we noticed some years ago, at least 5 years ago.
Hampton says since then, the hive has spread from this hole in the back of her home to a second on the side of the home.
As far as we know, we just stung one person. So.
Oh, so they've stung one person?
We stung one person, the guy who cut the yard.
Meaning he now avoids that section of the yard.
Ms. Hampton says the problem with the vegetation taking over the ramp is that both she and her daughter use canes. The vegetation has also blocked their second exit to the home. The problem with that is you look at their front entrance and take a look at those stairs to their deck, extremely damaged, making their walk up and down these stairs very difficult and dangerous. But they say they can't get this repaired because the man who's going to repair this says he needs 3 days of no one walking here to make sure it's repaired right, which means they'll have to use that second exit, which isn't possible because of the vegetation and the bees.
I gotta get those bees done, that's the priority.
At 80 years old, Hampton lives on a fixed income and says she simply can't afford removal. So we called local beekeeper Henry Brown Jr., owner of Farm & Co.
Yes, I can in fact come and help that lady because like I say, I do not want to see her get hurt or anybody to get hurt, especially if I could do something about it.
He's set to arrive bright and early Monday morning to remove this buzzing swarm free of charge.
I'm grateful. I am so grateful. It'll be a blessing. Thank you so much.
Trace and Bragg, KHOU 11 News.
So good to see her getting help. Trayson, thank you yet again for being on Bee Patrol. Henry Brown Jr., the owner of Farm & Co., says, by the way, if you see bees buzzing in a crack or hole in your home, call a professional immediately. He says it only takes about 30 days for them to build a full functioning hive and start producing offspring. We have an update for you tonight about a big problem drivers have been dealing with in New Caney for 2 years now.
Imagine that. Massive potholes that look more like sinkholes. Residents reached out to us back in July. We're talking about potholes along Loop 494. Residents reached out to us for solutions. Maria Aguilera shows us how things are looking now.
A brand new road.
No, it's nice.
It was once tough to drive on. I mean, it looks completely different now.
Yeah, just a couple of days ago, they finished it up.
Esther Cabrera says crews spent 2 weeks repairing this section of Lodge Road by the railroad crossing off Loop 494, the same spot we showed you in July when we spoke with drivers.
Is this something you've been frustrated about?
Everybody is in this neighborhood.
Look at this drop.
She reached out to KHOU 11 about this massive pothole. 3 months later, she got the fix she hoped for.
How do you feel now seeing this?
Well, we're all happy. We're all happy it's like a brand new entrance.
Commissioner Matt Gray confirmed the fix by posting this online, saying it took months of coordination with the state and Union Pacific. He originally told KHOU 11 he had the money ready, but had been waiting since January for a permit.
I believe you guys helped out a lot.
For Esther and others who drive this road daily, it's a big difference.
Has that helped with traffic?
I think it's going a lot smoother now.
Residents like Amanda Page, who drive small cars, say it's a relief the hole is gone.
Oh, it's amazing. My poor car couldn't handle the humongous giant holes that were here beforehand. Like, we probably went through 2 or 3 tires because of that.
And for neighbors like Lee Steele, who knew every bump, it's a welcome sight.
How does it feel to drive it on a brand new road?
Feels good. I won't mess up my car.
Now, a smooth ride after a long wait.
Well, on behalf of me and the whole neighborhood, everyone that uses the street, thank you.
In Montgomery County, Maria Aguilera, KHOU 11 News.
Got some breaking news on a story we've been fighting to get solutions for months now. Residents at a senior living complex in Missouri City confirmed tonight one of the elevators that's been broken for about a year is finally fixed. We've been telling you about the elevators at the Jubilee at Texas Parkway. The building only has 2 elevators. One broke down before Hurricane Beryl last year. Another broke down a couple months ago, leaving several senior residents unable to get downstairs, stranded in their units on the upper floors. But just about half an hour ago, State Senator Boris Miles, who was joined in advocating for the residents, let us know the first elevator was finally fixed tonight, and a resident confirmed it. Crews still working on that other elevator, but at least folks have one working elevator in the building tonight. This development follows our weeks of reporting, as we mentioned, and a huge $380,000 fine that was issued against the complex today by the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation. Of course, time will tell if this fix holds up. We'll be sure to stay on top of it, as well as talking to residents dealing with similar elevator problems all around the city.
Tonight, we are seeing another example of what appears to be a widespread issue with illegal dumping in Houston. For nearly a month now, we've been answering calls from people across the city, getting solutions and raising awareness in the 5th Ward, Harrisburg, and South Union neighborhoods. Tonight, Michelle Choi is in the Pecan Park neighborhood in Houston's Gulf Gate area.
Are these for the kids?
Yes, we're going to, we give out candy at, from about 6:45 to 9 o'clock.
Pecan Park resident Marco Roberts loves Halloween, but this year his focus isn't on just treats, it's on trash. Tuesday night, he took his frustration to City Council.
We have kids who trick or treat, and now they're going to have to navigate literally every 100 feet another pile of garbage, and that's Houston.
What was going through your mind when you were saying that?
Well, I was thinking about the fact that, I was thinking about those kids that come to our house every year.
Just a day after his fiery speech, city crews finally showed up, clearing piles that had sat for months along Colonel Street. But Marco says it's still not enough.
Right away, there was a lot of stuff here for weeks.
He showed us the spots where trash once stood, leaving dead grass and bare dirt, but he fears it won't stay that way for long. You're worried that this cycle will continue?
Oh, it will continue.
You have no doubt?
I am 100% certain.
He says he's been reporting this for months through 311 and Councilmember Joaquin Martinez's office, but wants lasting solutions, not quick cleanups.
The city needs to come up with a plan on how to deal with illegal dumping.
In a statement to KHOU 11, Councilmember Martinez said his office is working with the city's solid waste department to address ongoing challenges, hosting community events and urging residents to report illegal dumping to 311 and use city depositories at no cost. He says those conversations are key to finding lasting solutions and keeping neighborhoods clean. As for Marco, he reached out to KHOU 11 hoping to shine a brighter light on what his neighborhood is living with.
What Channel 11 is doing here is invaluable to us, because what you're doing is you're multiplying our effort, thousands of times, maybe hundreds of thousands of times over. We just don't want to live in garbage.
In Pecan Park, Michelle Choi, KHOU 11 News.
It's important to share this story. It came to us through a KHOU 11 viewer like you. So if there is a problem in your neighborhood that needs a solution, please let us know. Call our KHOU 11 Your Voice tip line, the number 713-521-4310. Leave your name, number, address, and news tip, and we'll see if we can help you out.
SDOT is addressing the issue of drivers seen going the wrong way in a school pickup and drop-off line in Huffman. We first reported on this story last week after the lines were backing up into a construction zone near Falcon Ridge Elementary School. Our KHOU Local breaks down the new changes.
This all started with parents having safety concerns. As a result, this morning, they saw officers helping direct traffic in this very spot near Falcon Ridge Elementary School, and they'll be back out here after school. This is new video of Huffman ISD police and local law enforcement officers controlling access to the school starting at 7:15 a.m. until 8:20 a.m. They'll be monitoring traffic flow Monday through Friday mornings and in the afternoons from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. to help ease backups during drop-off and pickup times. Last week, Falcon Ridge Elementary parents shared with KHOU 11 how traffic stops and how some drivers were even seen going the wrong way due to the widening of FM 2100. Crews went out to the project site earlier last week and saw the big backup of motorists, some exhibiting poor driving behavior. From there, TxDOT decided to organize a level of traffic control with law enforcement present before and after school. That plan is in full swing starting today. We weren't able to speak to any parents on camera this time, but some in the car rider line briefly told me they were happy to see officers helping to manage the traffic flow. As for when this project will be complete, TxDOT's expansion project for FM 2100 is set to wrap up hopefully around winter 2026. Reporting in Huffman, Ugochi Iloka, KHOU 11 News.
And if you need KHOU 11 to help find a solution to a problem, here's what you can do. Call us at 713-521-4310. Let us know about the issue and how we can help.